Adventure number 2 starts right now.
Here we are on adventure number 2, coming to you from the IBM Glen in Johnson City. And today's topic is going to involve cooking and photography. More to come soon. So you might be wondering how we're going to bring together cooking with photography, two of my favorite activities to do. And the way we're going to do that is by talking about the types of recipes and types of food that I like to cook. And those recipes are simple, real, and delicious. And when I say simple, that often means fewer ingredients, and it usually means less prep time, and it usually means fewer complicated techniques. There will be no boning of an entire chicken in a simple recipe. So that's the simple part of it. And what do we mean by real? Simple, real, delicious. The real part is using real ingredients, trying to stay away from processed ingredients, and especially ultra processed ingredients, which can really add a lot of sodium, add a lot of calories, add a lot of fat. So simple and real. The third aspect is delicious. And of course, with food, we think about taste. Does it taste good to us? But not only taste, there's texture, there's aroma, and we want all of those to appeal to all of the senses that we're using when we're enjoying good food. Now, a recent recipe that I made was a homemade Alfredo. And the ingredients were butter, heavy cream, black pepper, Parmesan cheese. Very few ingredients. Real, all those are very real ingredients, not highly processed. And when you're talking about real, I'm also going to talk about the Parmesan cheese. In this case, it's the Parmesan that makes the whole recipe, makes the whole meal. So you don't want to skimp. You want to pay a little extra, get the extra really good Parmesan cheese so that you'll have a fantastic Alfredo sauce. And delicious, this sauce that I made was better than any sauce you'll find anywhere else. Anything that you get in a jar, which is all liquidy and soupy, doesn't even come close, doesn't even compare. So simple, real, delicious. You may be able to hear the sounds of the rushing water, and the creek is down below. And when I say down below, it's probably a good 60 or 70 feet or more down below, and very steep in this portion, but we're going to give it a try. We're right here near the stone bridge, which I think is right where we want to be. Well, I did make it down. As you can see, there is the creek. Here is the stone bridge, making my way across it. Hopefully I'll be able to give you some idea of the side of the hill we had to come down here. Only one minor slip, no harm, no foul. So, cooking and photography, how does that go together? Well, we're going to follow those same ideas of simple, real, and delicious. The idea of simple, as it comes to photography, for me anyway, is I try to take as many shots as I can in a single capture. One push of the shutter button will be my picture. So using my lens, I try to do as much of my cropping as I can What I do and what I see through my viewfinder is what I want to be very close to the final picture. Now that being said, of course, there will be some post-processing of the pictures back at home, but that's my idea of simple. Now, a couple of exceptions to that rule. There are three, in fact. The first is focus stacking. If I have an object that's very close to my lens and the rest of the picture goes very far off into the distance, and if I'm trying to achieve good focus all the way through that picture, then I'm going to use focus stacking. Another situation in which I will take more than one capture and put them together is in a high dynamic range situation. If I'm taking a photograph and there are some parts of the picture that are extremely bright and other parts of the picture that are extremely dark, if I want to be able to have detail throughout the picture, light and dark, then I will take several different exposures and bring those together using Photoshop. And finally, if I'm trying to do a panoramic shot, I'll take multiple pictures going side to side or up and down and stitch those together in Photoshop to make a panorama. Now, even though those do take multiple captures to create, they are still pretty simple techniques. So, reel. How does reel work into photography? Well, when I think of reel, I'm talking about trying to make my photographs look like what I see when I'm on location. I don't want to do any super crazy editing, oversaturation, over sharpening to create some artistic looking type of picture. I'm shooting for reality. And that saves me a lot of time in post-processing as well. So my love-hate relationship with editing of photos and my desire to just try to make them look as realistic and true to the vision that I had when I was out in the field really come together nicely. Now you might ask, how can a photo be delicious? Well, when we were talking about food, we said it had to appeal to our palate, to our sense of smell, to our sense of texture in our mouth. Well, when I'm taking a photograph, I want it to appeal. And the person that I mostly want the pictures to appeal to are me. I'm taking pictures that I think look good, and I process them in a way that I think looks good. And I hope other people enjoy the pictures as well. But as long as they appeal to me and my sensibilities, then that's what I consider to be a huge success. And I consider that to be a delicious photograph. Now, here in our adventure number 2 in the IBM Glen, I'm hoping to capture some delicious photographs of some of the moving water and hopefully some other woodland scenes. We have nice sunshine coming down through the trees. I knew that I'd be down in a dark wooded place, so I didn't try to get out here early in the morning at sunrise. I am here more towards midday, but since it's still February, the sun is low, it's still giving a nice soft light to things, and hopefully we'll get some nice shots here. Yes, I am huffing and puffing a little bit. We are making our way uphill, up out of the Glen. Thank you for joining me here on adventure number 2 at the IBM Glen. Simple, real, delicious. Works for cooking, works for photography. I hope you'll join me on the next adventure.